Welcome back to the deep dive. If you were with us last time, you know the party just survived absolute chaos in Thundertree.
Oh, massive. Corrupted plants, foul magic, and then, the big reveal.
The big reveal.
Mm.
Their guide, Neza, turns out to be a traitor working for the Black Spider. She just, poof, teleports away with vital intelligence.
And you can't forget the immediate aftermath. As if that wasn't enough, Imogen's magic just goes haywire.
Spectacularly haywire. Her face ends up magically imprinted on every cloud in the sky for, the next 2 weeks.
A truly memorable and I'm sure deeply humiliating end to that fight.
So we left them standing there in the ruins, the immediate threat gone, but totally confused about who to trust and, frankly, the stability of their own magic.
Right. So for this deep dive, we're really moving past the tactical hit it with a sword part of the story.
What are we focusing on?
We're tracking them as they uncover some really deep personal history, align with a powerful new force in the region, and face this truly bizarre, mind-bending challenge.
And it all culminates in them witnessing a celestial event that hints that reality itself might be fraying at the edges.
Exactly.
We're calling this the Sanctuary of Scars. The scars on the land from the corruption and the personal scars from the past. They all come together here.
You have a shocking family discovery for Valindra. You have the big final fight to reclaim nature's balance in Thundertree.
And then this psychological gauntlet in a fey maze. Okay, let's unpack this. We start with the party investigating a lingering mystery. That weird building with the steam. So their first order of business was basically forensic work. They saw steam rising from one building, which meant, intense cold meeting a heat source.
And that leads them to the structure where the door is just sealed, completely shut by a thick, thick layer of ice.
And you can really see the party's dynamic and how they approach this.
Oh, absolutely. Plupjalep, the turtle druid, he's usually so patient, so in tune with nature. But here, his patience for a frozen door is zero.
He doesn't try to melt it or use a spell.
No finesse. He just rears back and kicks the door clean off its hinges, shattering the ice seal into 1,000 pieces.
Effective, if a little loud.
Mm-hmm.
But the scene inside, that was far more chilling than the ice on the door. What did they find?
They find the aftermath of a purge. There are 4 humanoid figures, just frozen solid, locked in these postures of terror or maybe mid-fight.
And they're not just random wanderers?
No, they're wearing the green and white dragon emblem. These are dragon cultists, the very same group they've been tracking.
But it's the detail of the 5th body, or half body, that really drives it home.
That's the key piece of evidence.
Oh.
One of the figures is bitten cleanly in half from the lay step.
Which tells them everything they need to know about the cult's failed strategy.
It's catastrophic failure. They were trying to coerce or manipulate not just the green dragon, Venom Fang, but also the local white dragon, Cryovane.
Playing 2 apex predators against each other.
It's beyond reckless. It's suicidal. And Rita, the druid they meet, he confirms it later.
Yes, he does.
He identifies the clean bisection, the sheer force needed, as the signature of a white dragon. Cryovane decided to eliminate the middlemen, personally and brutally.
And all that magical ice everywhere just proves the dragon was here, cleaning house.
What's interesting is the party's next move, they actually try to thaw one of the bodies.
Right, they're hoping to get some intelligence, maybe find a journal or identify the person.
A perfectly logical step. But the fire does nothing. The corpse stays as solid as a block of stone.
Which says a lot about the kind of cold they're dealing with.
This isn't just a cold snap. This is elemental power. A white dragon's breath can permanently lock organic matter into a kind of elemental stasis. It resists simple heat.
So no immediate intel from the bodies themselves, but they did get something for their trouble. The cult's failure was their gain.
A huge gain. They recovered 3 pretty significant diamonds, always useful for currency or, more arcane purposes.
There was also a mysterious potion they'll have to identify later, and a dagger with the cult's emblem. More evidence.
So while all this is going on, this very physical investigation, the other half of the party is making these huge intellectual leaps.
Imogen, right. She finally cracks that draconic book they found.
She does. And it's not just a history book or a diary. This is an advanced text, a manual.
A manual for what, exactly?
For some really profound stuff. It details techniques for actually entering and navigating a dragon's dreams.
Whoa.
It talks about understanding their communication not through speech, but through magical vibrations in the air. And it even has methods for for manipulating them psychologically.
Let's stick with that for a second. Magical vibrations, what does that even mean? It sounds like their entire existence is a form of communication.
It reframes everything. It suggests their language is nonverbal, maybe even a low-level telepathy. The way a dragon moves, the way it breathes, it sends out ripples of information. Its entire territory could be one big conversation zone.
That makes hiding from one basically impossible.
Yeah.
But entering their dreams, that's next-level stuff.
It's an avenue for psychological warfare. You're not fighting its scales and claws anymore. You're fighting its fears, its obsessions. You're fighting its mind.
So you have Imogen over here, unlocking the secrets to breaking a dragon's psyche. And then you've got Ohio Jim.
On the complete other end of the spectrum, he's the pragmatist. He's busy with the alchemy kit they found, brewing up tactical solutions for the next fight.
And what did he manage to cook up?
2 very specialized concoctions. The first is a potion that lets you breathe a cone of acid. Essentially, it turns you into a mini green dragon for a few seconds.
That could be useful. And the second?
A potion that mimics the fairy fire spell. It creates this illuminating magical light that outlines enemies, making them impossible to miss, even if they're hidden or in the dark.
It's a perfect contrast, isn't it? One is preparing for a war of the mind, the other is making sure they can win a fist fight in the dark.
And they both come from using the resources they've gathered. They're actively leveling up their own capabilities to meet these threats.
Which brings us to the emotional heart of this whole session. After they clear out an old smithy and Turin deals with this nasty ash zombie, they move to the town square.
This is Valindra's moment. You have to remember, her entire story, everything she's done, has been fueled by the hope of finding her lost sister, Lura.
She's been running on fumes and memories.
And what she finds in this haunted, dead town isn't a clue. It's not a person. It's a statue. A weathered, old wooden statue of a group of warriors knocked crooked by time.
And she recognizes one of the faces.
After years of searching, after chasing ghosts across the continent, she looks at this forgotten piece of wood and sees her sister's face carved into it.
It has to be just overwhelming. Finding proof, but it's proof that she's a monument in a ghost town.
But then it gets deeper. There's a bronze placard nearby, and it confirms the name Lura. But it's the inscription that changes everything. It reads, Savior of Thundertree and Phandalin.
So Laura wasn't just lost. She was a hero, a famous one.
This is monumental for Valindra. It's the first undeniable public proof that her sister was real, that she mattered to the whole region. And it puts this new weight on Valindra, doesn't it?
She's not just looking for a missing person anymore.
She's the sister of the Savior. And her current mission, cleaning out this very town, suddenly becomes this deeply personal, inherited responsibility.
And that connection gets even stronger almost immediately.
Right. While Valindra is processing this, Lyra is poking around the old weaver's shop, and under the floorboards, she finds something.
A gold necklace with jewels and diamonds.
And it perfectly matches the description of an heirloom mentioned way back by the sheriff's wife in Phandalin, Myrna.
Wow.
Yeah.
That side quest from weeks ago just snapped right into the main plot.
It ties it all together. The history of Phandalin's local leaders is directly linked to the heroes of Thundertree. The web is tightening, and the party is standing right in the center of it.
So with all that personal discovery, the story pivots back to the mission. They go back to Radith, the druid, dragging that frozen cultist body with them.
And Radith, after seeing the dragon's handiwork, he confirms just how serious the danger is. But this is where the party kinda graduates.
He formalizes things.
He does. He reveals that he's part of the Emerald Enclave.
And for those who don't know, what is the Enclave?
They're a major power in the region, an organization dedicated to preserving the natural order, restoring balance, fighting corruption wherever it takes root. This is a huge deal. An alliance with them gives the party legitimacy, resources, a whole network.
And he makes a direct offer to Pleptlip.
He offers him membership as a Spring Warden, which is a significant rank. It's for someone who actively restores life to blighted lands.
But there's a condition.
Of course. The condition is simple. Help him finish the job, restore the balance to Thundertree, and, more importantly, stop the corrupted plant life from spreading to Phandalin.
A mission they readily accept. Pleptlip even uses his divine magic to heal Imogen up, getting everyone ready for the fight to come.
Which was smart because the fight came immediately. And violently.
Lyra kicks down the door to that same Weaver's building, and the ground just erupts.
She pays for that aggression instantly. An enormous awakened tree, this huge, monstrous thing, bursts out of the earth. A massive branch swings out and just clobbers her, sending her reeling.
And it's not alone.
No. Swarms of smaller plant creatures, twig blights, vine blights, they all converge. The whole area just becomes this chaotic, supernatural assault.
So how do they even manage to fight back against a giant tree and a horde of minions all at once?
It really came down to teamwork and specialization. Everyone played their part perfectly. Take Imogen. She lets loose a volley of magical energy, but her wild power surges again.
Another surge, right in the middle of a boss fight. What happened this time?
A pillar of earth just shoots up from the ground beneath her, lifting her 30 feet into the air, which is, incredibly dangerous. She's completely exposed.
But it gave her a bird's eye view of the whole battlefield.
Exactly. It turned a tactical nightmare into a perfect vantage point. She could see everything.
Meanwhile, Plepchelep, the new spring warden, is dealing with the swarm on the ground.
He uses his divine power, these little starry motes of light, and just unleashes them on the smaller blights. They're incredibly effective, causing the corrupted plants to just wither and crumble into dust. He's on crowd control.
And Lyra, after taking that first hit, she gets back up fighting.
Oh, yeah. She opts for something a little more direct. She lobs a Molotov cocktail at one of the other corrupted trees and sets it ablaze. Simple, practical, and very effective against a creature made of wood.
But Valindra's move was maybe the most impressive.
It was the definition of controlled power. She calls down divine lightning, but instead of just a blind blast, she somehow carves the bolts of energy around her friends to strike multiple enemies without a single bit of friendly fire.
That's incredible precision.
It shows you can trust her with that level of power in a close quarters fight.
But for the big tree itself, they needed something more. It needed to be felled.
And Annette fell to Turin. He's wielding that magical axe they found, Hugh, the one that's especially good against plants and wood.
And he just goes for it.
He lands this one perfect, devastating strike. The axe bites deep, cutting 3/4 of the way through the trunk in a single blow. And the whole massive thing just comes crashing down.
It really shows how having the right tool for the job can completely change the course of a fight.
Absolutely. That axe turned what could have been a long, drawn-out battle into a decisive victory. And right after, Valindra says a prayer of healing gets everyone back on their feet. Their mission for the Enclave is a success.
But they're not quite done in Thundertree. They check out the wizard's tower.
And the tower itself tells a story. It's scorched by lightning, but also covered in frost damage. An elemental war was fought right here.
And inside, they find more proof of the White Dragon's presence.
Plepchelep and Valindra find two things. A red tiefling's horn, sadly, evidence of a dragon's meal.
Grim.
And more importantly, layers and layers of ice. Thick deposits of it, confirming the dragon, Cryovane, had been using this tower as a roost. Repeatedly.
So that ties it all together. The cultists, the corruption, the dragon, the party just cleaned out a nexus of evil.
And nature itself confirms their success. As Radith gives them some magical elven bread for the journey, they start to hear it.
The sounds of normal animals returning.
Birds chirping, insects buzzing. The natural balance is beginning to restore itself. The immediate threat is over.
So with a new alliance and new knowledge, they head north, towards the Citadel of Lightlessness. But the journey there, it gets weird fast.
The shift is so jarring. They're walking, feeling good about their victory, and then they're just swallowed by this dense, unnatural fog.
It's less like weather and more like a curtain falling.
Exactly. Visibility drops to almost nothing, and then they come to it. A supernatural crossroads. 4 paths meeting at a central tree with a statue. This is not the material plane anymore. This is the border of the Feywild.
And they figure out pretty quickly that normal logic doesn't apply here.
They try taking a path, and after walking for a while, they just end up right back where they started. It's a loop. A psychological trap, not a physical one.
And the statue at the center kept changing, didn't it?
That's the chilling part. Every time they looped back, the statue was different. First, it's holding a spear, then a sword, then it's wearing a tricorn hat. It's the maze telling them, I am alive and I am changing the rules.
And then the rule maker shows up. A leprechaun.
The classic Fey trickster. It appears and makes them an offer. I'll show you the way out, it says, for a single name.
And this is a huge test for the party, isn't it? Because giving your true name to a Fey creature is a terrible, terrible idea.
It's the worst mistake you can make. Your true name gives them power over you. Literal, magical power to bind you, to compel you, and the party, wisely, refuses.
The Leprechaun did not take that well.
No, its reaction wasn't just anger, it was consumption. Because the time they spent trapped in the maze was its food.
It was feeding on their wasted time.
As they struggled, it started to transform. It grew taller, gaunter. Its limbs stretched into these grotesque, elongated shapes until it was an 8-foot-tall monstrosity.
And its mouth.
The source material says its mouth widened until it could swallow a person whole. This is a creature that literally eats your delay, your frustration, and turns it into its own power.
That is deeply terrifying. So this time eater is now hunting them through the fog. The pressure must have been immense.
It was, but under that pressure, one of them found the solution. And it's not who you'd expect.
Not the wizard or the rogue.
It was Plepjalep, the grounded, logical druid. He managed to see past the chaos and deduce the pattern.
How?
Through pure observation. He ignored the illusions and focused on the sequence of the statue's changes. He realized there was a logic to it, however bizarre, and he cracked the code. He led them through the correct sequence of paths and broke the spell.
Now, the fey creature, what did it do?
True to its nature, it was impressed, it was entertained, the challenge was the whole point. So as a reward for their cleverness, it gives Plepjalep a golden wand of wonder.
A tool of pure random chaos.
The ultimate irony, right? The most logical member gets the most unpredictable item, and then the creature, the fog, the crossroads, it all just vanishes. They're free. They emerge from that surreal fey realm back into the real world, but the re-entry is violent. They aren't just stepping out of fog, they are thrown back into reality right in the middle of a cosmic event.
Yeah, the sources are very clear. This isn't just a lingering magical effect. This is something else entirely. Something bigger.
The moment they're back, the sensory input is just all wrong. The ground starts to quake, but it's not a normal tremor. There's this static electricity in the air, making your hair stand on end.
And the silence.
A profound, unnatural silence. All animal sounds, everything just stops.
And then it happened. The moment that defines the entire session, they look up at the sky.
And they watch the sun blink out.
It just vanishes for a second before returning in this brilliant, blinding pulse of light.
That is a sign of fundamental instability. I mean, a monster, a magical storm, that's a local problem. When the sun itself winks out of existence even for a moment, the problem is existential. Reality is broken.
They had just crossed through a thin place between worlds. Could their passage have triggered this? Or maybe destroying the awakened tree?
That's the terrifying question, isn't it? Did their actions, either solving the Fey puzzle or cleansing the corruption, somehow destabilize the barriers between planes and cause this cosmic feedback?
It feels like a direct consequence, a bleed-through from another reality.
And it connects right back to those cryptic warnings they got from the Nothek ages ago, remember? Wars being sown, silver ships between the stars.
A conflict beyond the dragon cult.
This solar glitch, this shudder in reality, it feels like the first real physical evidence that those larger cosmic conflicts are starting to spill over into their world.
So in restoring balance to a small piece of the forest, they may have inadvertently kicked a much, much larger hornet's nest.
It completely changes the stakes. They're not just fighting to save a town anymore, they might be fighting to keep reality from unraveling.
They're left standing there under this newly reignited sun, heading for the citadel of lightlessness, but with the terrifying knowledge that the ground beneath their feet and the sky above their heads is no longer stable.
Oh.
So this session was just a massive pivot. We went from local corruption to deep personal destiny and maybe the beginning of a cosmic war.
An incredible series of shifts. You have Valindra finally getting that validation about her sister Lura, proving her entire journey wasn't just a wild goose chase.
And the party gets a major upgrade, with Plepjalep joining the Emerald Enclave. They're official now.
And they prove they can handle more than just a physical fight. They outsmarted a fey creature in a psychological maze. Every victory seems to unlock a deeper level of peril.
And that cliffhanger, the sun blinking out, it's not just a warning. It feels like proof that forces way beyond the dragon cult are now directly impacting their world.
The conflict is escalating past anything that can be solved with a sword or a fireball.
Which is why the things they've just acquired are so important.
Absolutely. That draconic book about entering dragon dreams, that's a tool for psychological warfare.
Sure.
And Plepjalep's Wand of Wonder, that's pure, untamed chaos. They're gonna need both.
They're being equipped to fight a war on multiple fronts. Tactical, psychological, and now, apparently, cosmological.
They started this whole thing fighting a few goblins in a cave. Now they are witnesses to, and maybe participants in, a struggle that can literally extinguish stars.
Final provocative thought for you, our listener. If time and space can be bent so easily, and the sun itself can be momentarily switched off, how can the party trust the nature of reality at all? And what kind of colossal, unimaginable power could cause a star to blink?
Their journey to the citadel of lightlessness just got a whole lot heavier.
We'll see you then.